Most people think that it's difficult to make money on Fiverr, but I have made over $500,000 with a brand new Fiverr profile. And here I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. By the end of the video, you will know how to make 6 figures from your very first year on Fiverr. I am going to break it all down in 3 simple steps. So let's get started. Step number 1 is what I call FMO. So when you start on Fiverr, the biggest mistake that everyone makes is that they just settle for the obvious. They are going to create gigs based on what they think will work or what they have done in the past or what someone told them that they should do. They're going to create those gigs and then they're going to wait. They're going to wait around and around. And what happens? Nothing. Over 70% of sellers on Fiverr never sell a single gig and quit. Over 70%, which is massive, because that's what they do. They just set everything up, they wait and they stay around and nothing happens. So what you want to do is that you want to do the opposite of that. You want to create a gig that does not relate necessarily to your skills or to what you want to sell. You want to create a specific gig when you start that is easy, that's affordable, that's a quick grab, and something that buyers will easily take and overlook the fact that you don't have any reviews or that you're brand new and you don't have any type of proof. And this gig is what I call the FMO. So that's my term for it. It's Fiverr minimum offer. So it's an offer that's quick, that's affordable for buyers, and it's something that you can do easily as well, but again, most likely does not relate to your expertise or to what you want to sell. And we don't care. This gig is here in order to get you going on Fiverr. It's here to get you proof, visibility, and boost your entire profile and all of your gigs at once. It's here to really give you a name and a brand name and to show people what you can do and how great you are. And then they will keep on ordering and all of your other gigs, and that's how things really get started. If you just create your gigs that most likely are highly competitive. Most categories on Fiverr are very, very competitive. So it will be like selling a product on Amazon. Right from the start, you have to compete with sellers who have been on there for years and have like thousands of reviews. So when you start on Amazon, you will need to really cut the price in order to even just gain visibility. However, on Fiverr, cutting the price is only a very, very small part of what will actually make an impact, and it will not be enough. Just cutting the price on your gigs, first of all, some people really cut them way too low, which really undervalues the gig, but on top of it, cutting it is really not going to get you started. Those gig FMO, they are very special gigs, and I have an FMO list in my free Fiverr Masterclass that you can download, pick one and just get going. Most people can really do most of those gigs, but what they do is that they are, again, an easy offer, and they are something that buyers are always looking for and will be willing to overlook, again, your lack of proof and that you're a beginner. But mostly as well, those gigs, a lot of sellers do not offer them after a while because they move on to other things. So therefore, there are less competition. You can easily beat it. And as well, sellers that were offering those are now focused on their other gigs, so they don't respond fast. So if you respond fast, you will get the gig because buyers are just looking for something quick and affordable for those gigs. So if you respond fast, you'll get the gigs. You offer a faster delivery, you will get the gigs, because most older sellers on Fiverr, they don't offer fast delivery. And that includes myself. When you've been on there for a while, you're not going to respond fast, especially on those gigs, and you're not going to offer a fast delivery. And buyers, that's all they are looking for when it comes to FMOs. Fast fast and affordable. So already you're beating, by just doing that, you're beating all the other sellers. And again, those gigs tend to be really starting gigs that other sellers are going to stop doing really quickly. And for so many reasons as well that I highlight in my Fiverr Masterclass. I also give you like a lot of different things that you can do to get started really quick with your FMO, but that's the way to do it. The wrong way to do it is to not listen to what the market wants. Just go ahead, create your gigs because you feel like it and wait around. That's what happened to me. I started by creating my gigs in advertising when I signed up to Fiverr, so that was in 2021, and I waited for 5 months. And I got nothing, literally nothing. And at the end of the 5th month, I made $1,000. I was like, okay, I need to rethink the whole thing. And that's when I came up with this concept, which is mine, the FMO, and that changed my life. In 1 month, I made $12,000 only because of my FMO. And my FMO was in course development. So it's not something at all that I knew how to do, know how to sell. I just learned as I went. I have had, marketing agencies for a long time, which is where I became an expert in advertising. And with those marketing agencies, I obviously was selling courses as well and marketing and in ads. But I only sold them in very specific topics, marketing and ads, and I never sold them, for other people. I never did courses for other people. I never really pushed it forward like that. I was just selling courses to my clients. And that's a massive jump, going from just selling courses in one or two categories to creating courses for people and selling that in so many different industries for so many different, specificities, fields. And I was like, I'm going to list out what I can really do and help and what I'll be really good at. So in terms of the course development, who can I really help and who can benefit from this? I was like, I know I can create courses in business development. I'm sure I can do it in mindset. Obviously I can do it in marketing. I can do it in advertising. And I listed out a few more that I knew I could figure out, but that was not my expertise. That was not what I wanted to sell. That was not my expertise. And thank God I did that because that's what got me started. And my FMO in course development was the best thing I have done. I kept it for a year. By that point, my other gigs, got going and I stopped it. But this was life-changing. So you don't have to have an expertise. You're an FMO. You don't need to be amazing. You just need to have something that you can do. You can do it. And things will get better as you go. And also buyers that go for new sellers, for FMOs, their expectations are a lot less than when you have a lot of reviews and you have gigs, that have been on Fiverr for years. So you're going to be dealing with buyers, again, that have a lot less expectations and a lot easier to deal with, honestly. Okay, so that's step 1, create your FMO. Again, it's available in the free Fiverr Masterclass. Now, step 2 is main category. So main category is really the category that you want to sell on Fiverr. However, first, before you even think of what else do I want to sell, do not overthink the game, okay? At first, create your FMO, get reviews, get proof, get visibility, get started fast, and then move into your main category and really sell what you want to sell. By that point, you have created your FMO. Literally a few weeks later or so, you will start your main category and you will get started so much faster because you'll have already all that proof, all of those reviews and everything from the FMO and the visibility. So when you put out what you really want to sell, just get started by 100 or thousands. Honestly, it's not even comparable. So a main category is really, again, what you want to sell. So for a lot of people, it's based on your expertise. So what you've done before, as it was for me, I wanted to sell advertising. That was my expertise. So obviously that's what I wanted to do, but I could have very well gone for something else. A lot of the times you don't even think or realize that you know so much, and actually what sells on Fiverr is not necessarily what you have expertise in or what you think will work at all, which is why doing the market research on Fiverr is critical. And there's a very specific way as well doing the market research. It's not common way, but you need to find what sells on Fiverr, and it does not have to relate to your skills and expertise. You may may sell something as a main category, so what you really want to sell, what you really want to be known for, what you want your brand to be associated with. And also it's very important because as people Google you, they will find your gigs associated with your name. So you want as well the main category to really reflect again what you want to be known for. And no, it doesn't have to be something that you've already sold before. It does not have to be something that you are amazing at. You can either learn the skills very quickly, take 1 or 2 weeks to learn it, and then create a main category, or you can do it on something else that you have less expertise in, but it will sell so much better, so much faster, and you can learn as you go, or you can obviously train yourself and learn the skill as well. But what's really critical in the main category is that when you find it based on market research alone, not based on what you think will work. And again, in my Fiverr Masterclass, I show you how to do the research so that you know exactly what sells or not. But once you have it, what's critical is that you want to create what I call an MVO. MVO, which is most valuable offer. It's a gig that relates to your main category, and it's one gig. It's really the main gig that you're going to push everywhere. It's the main gig that everyone is going to see. It's the gig that you want to sell. It's everything, honestly. It's like the gig, you're like, this is it. I am going to keep it forever, and ideally you would keep it forever, your MVO. Like I still have mine, all those years later. Now it's like I have like 1,000 reviews on it, which is, I thought is crazy. Like when I started on Fiverr, I would see people, with like 500 reviews on gigs, over 1,000 reviews. It's like, how can they get there? And you get there really fast when you follow the strategy and you have a system. So my MVO is over 1,000 reviews. It's been there from the start, and that's what I would really recommend. Is really keeping it. Obviously you can stop it, but ideally I would not recommend it. And an MVO is really the mothership. So it's the gig that's going to drag all of your other gigs to the top. It's really the gig that you're going to push all the time. The ones where you're going to pile up the reviews, pile up the orders, and the ones that people are going to know you for. It's your main gig, it's your mothership. And lots of people, what they do, and they make that massive mistake of creating so many different gigs under the main category without any purpose. Like they just think of it, oh, this gig will be good, this gig will be good, this one good and good. They create all those gigs, and all that does is that it dilutes obviously your profile, because you have so many gigs, so the impressions are a lot less on them, so your visibility. It's way harder to get any reviews or anything and to get them going. So when you start, have an FMO, then have your MVO, most valuable offer that relates to your main category. That's really the gig that you want to push. And then, which is step number 3, I'm going to show you how to create your gigs and the type of gigs that you really want to have. So that's step number 3, flow of orders. How to develop a consistent flow of orders to really scale. So first you need to know that on Fiverr you really need to develop a growth mindset, just like in business in general. But on Fiverr, I always say it's about thinking long term while getting short-term results. We are on Fiverr to get results quickly. We're not on Fiverr to get results in 6 months from now. If we wanted that, we would just start an online business, and wait around. The whole point of being on Fiverr is that we want short-term results, but we need to think long-term. Everything that you do is long-term, and creating a flow of orders is a part of that. You really need to have a strategy to develop what I call your Fiverr ecosystem, with all of your gigs that relate to your FMO, and then your main category. As your main category will have obviously most of your gigs. You only have one FMO, and then the rest falls under your main category. So you need to create your ecosystem with specific gigs that will create a specific outcome. One gig equals one specific outcome. One specific thing that it needs to achieve. Each single gig has a purpose. And that's something that all sellers always miss every single time. They just create them as they feel like it. There is no sense of it all. There is no orders, so nothing get started, everything stays stuck. 1 gig, one specific outcome, and that's also in the Fiverr Masterclass. So you want to develop your Fiverr ecosystem to constantly get you a flow of orders. This flow of orders is always going to kickstart the algorithm. It's going to get you reviews, visibilities, and it's constantly going to get you orders and get you to scale. You do this, you're going to make 5 figures a month in no time and have your first 6 figures per year on Fiverr, first year guarantee. The flow of orders is critical. That's what allowed me to really scale as well once I understood it. My first year actually started really quick and then it went down because I made so many mistakes, like the mistakes that everyone makes. So my first year was actually not really good. Like it started strong and then went down. And I was like, okay, I need to really sit down and understand what I have done wrong and study it. And that's really when I literally cracked the code. I studied the algorithm from trial and errors, and I tried everything. And I developed this strategy to consistently getting a flow of orders. So even when things go down, boom, it goes back up instantly. So you don't even feel it, you don't ever waste time, and you keep on scaling to multiple 6 figures per year like I am. So if you do all of this, you start by your FMO, then your main category, you have 1 main gig, your MVO, and then you know the strategy to have a constant flow of orders. You are well on your way to making 6 figures your first year and then multiple 6 figures right away and scaling. And all of this is in the free Fiverr Masterclass. Download it, the link is below. All of this is explained. You get the FMO list and you get all the rest as well, lined up for you, all the strategies that made me over $500,000 on Fiverr. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.